Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Eka Setia Wahyuli. Today I will ask some question for you. Then you answer them using voice note because this interview is conducted online. Uh, First question is, have you ever made your own test for your student, such as quiz, written test, or final test? Okay.
Well, sorry for the inconvenience. I still have a lot of things to do, so I do have time right now. Well, let's get to the question. Number one, have you ever made your own tasks for your students? If yes, for question number one, what kind of task is it? Quiz, midterm test, or final test? Yes, I have made my own test for the students in three kinds of the tests.
For the next question, have you ever considered about is it, its reliability, validity, practicality, and item analysis? What do you think about it?
Um, I'm not sure about it, but I do focus on the practicality on the task, whether it can be used in the daily activity or not. But yeah, honestly, I'm not that expert in such things because my major is the English literature, not from the education. Yeah, though I know it's not an excuse, still I'm a teacher, right? But if you ask me about four things you mentioned, I do prioritize the practicality since that is the last goal of how you master one of the language. So it means that the last thing you are spoken as someone mastering the language means that you can practice them in a daily activity. You can speak about the language, you can understand about the language. Yeah. So the validity is the key point for me.
Okay, the next question. Have you ever conducted a tryout for your own ed test? Uh, how do you conduct it? If no, why?
Yes, I have already conducted a tryout. For example, when I teach English text for the students, I do have one text which is given twice, so I have a similar text. I give them in the tryout and I give the text in the real test. But I use a different question to both of them. For example, like the question for tryout would be, what is the main idea of the first paragraph? But for the real test, I use the second paragraph. Sometimes I use the similar tasks for the tryout and the real test to determine whether they have progressed or not in their result.
The next question. So, how do you know the reliability, validity, practicality, and item analysis of the tests you use for your student?
Well, frankly speaking, I'm not aware of such things because what I want them to know is that their English should be applied. At least they can understand what others saying. But I often look at the teacher's book to know the structure of a good question. So yeah, I compare the kinds of question in teacher's book, then I make it in my guide. That's it.
Okay, the next. What is your opinion about a good test? What is your opinion about a good test?
Well, a good task is the task which gives the students the idea of having a progress. The task should make them realize that they need to learn more, whether having a good mark or a bad mark. Yep.
According to you, what should a teacher do to have a good and appropriate test for his or her student?
First, I think we should know about the condition of the students because for me, not all the students keen on studying or understanding the English comprehensively. So we should really match their capacity with the test we will give. Next, we need to explore the way in giving the test itself. Maybe with the interactive things or maybe with the games. Yeah. It's not always in the written things, right? But it should be in a creative ways.
Okay, the last question. In this pandemic era, how do you conduct a test for each language skill?
Because my school didn't use the online system, so that I conduct a test as usual, like before pandemic, but still considering the health protocol. Well, thank you.
Okay, thanks for the time, Mr. Tian. Jelas I see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.